Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Founder's Story. Today we have Danielle Marggraf, who is a sacred feminine wealth and somatic therapist and coach. She's been working over a decade to help women rewire their nervous system for more freedom, fulfillment, and financial flow. Danielle, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
I'm really excited to learn more about how you're helping women rewire their nervous system, helping them with financial freedom, abundance. I mean, all this stuff sounds like an incredible way to live a great life. Before we dive in though, tell me, what was it that made you say, I want to do this. I want to be a coach. I want to be a coach and I want to help women.
Yeah, so really it started when I found myself with two babies under two in the middle of a divorce, not what I had expected, planned, or anticipated. And I did not want to go back to work because of my own childhood trauma. I didn't want to put them in daycare. They couldn't even speak yet. And so I thought, I got to figure something out. And so I had already been in the healing arts world as a yoga instructor, and I did energy work, and I just started really Googling, like, what could I do? And this idea of coaching came up, and it was very new to me. I had no idea. This was like in 2011. And I decided, oh, this could be something. This feels very resonant to me. And I had no money. I sold my engagement ring and my wedding band to put myself through school. I already have a master's degree, but ultimately, because I didn't want to go back to work in a traditional way, I found myself in coaching.
Wow, that's amazing. It always seems like it's those things that bring us down are what enable us to figure out what is our passion and our life mission. So why is it that you think so many women struggle with the feeling of not being worthy for wealth or becoming wealthy?
Yeah, I think that it's sort of like an epidemic of women who are have experienced, and listen, we've all experienced some trauma, right, in our lives, multiple traumas, maybe in some cases, more often than not. But we really have never been able to, I think, fully process, patterns. We all are born into patterns and families and systems that are, carry generationally sometimes, shame or unworthiness or feeling unlovable, or we get those messages in childhood. And I believe that, that gets stored in our nervous system, and we get wired for safety, right? We're wired for safety. We're wired for connection. We're wired for belonging, but we're not wired for wealth and success naturally. And I think women in particular struggle because we are really carrying more than our fair share of responsibility in our current state of affairs, right? We are mothers, we're entrepreneurs, we're working full time, we're cooking the dinner, we're figuring it all out, and we're really overloaded with responsibility that causes us to really stay in that survival place.
So I've noticed that a lot of times in public facing, let's say celebrities or people, it's generally okay for men to show off like this car or house or talk about money, but you rarely ever see women doing that. Do you think it's because as a society, we've said it's not acceptable for women to show off their wealth, to show off the success they've had? Or is it just something deep down inside that we feel shouldn't be, when maybe we can change that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that women are taught to be good girls. We're also taught to self-abandon to make other people comfortable, right? And so traditionally, there's this idea that we will tolerate and endure discomfort way faster and more than a man will, right? Because men are taught to be protectors and to be strong and to really show up, really to sort of fan their feathers, to be attractors of successful women or the job. But women are taught to give in and tolerate. And so I don't think it's natural for us to show off, or it looks like showing off. It looks like bragging. And because we are just taught to make other people comfortable. And so if we could really come back to ourselves and really start to rewire for self-loyalty instead of being in abandonment, we can really be able to embody a level of wealth that is not about not even the outside flashy cars, but really our own sense of value and self-worth, which is really where the radiance comes in and the confidence comes in and what it's all about. That's what makes it all attractive and magnetic to us.
Let's dive into specifically how you're helping them rewire their body for more freedom, this abundance, wealth. Can you talk to me about specifics of what you're doing, and then maybe even dive into things that you've seen or like examples of what you've seen come from it?
Yeah, sure. So listen, I think that if you are an entrepreneur, you've done some type of money mindset work. If you want to create more money, right, you've done mindset work, you've maybe done even some manifesting work, right? This whole idea of, right, we're going to think the thoughts and we're going to create it in our lives. And I buy into all of that. And for so many years, I struggled because I just thought, let me figure out how I can create more money when I didn't have a lot of time. I had 2 kids under 2. I was now launching a business that I had no idea what I was doing. And there was a lot to learn, but it was really about how can I work smarter and not harder, and really sort of do this in a way that I can attract and really step into my own power. I think women struggle with really owning their power, with really claiming their power. And the truth is that wealth, i.e., really shows up as money for most people. Money equals power, right? And so if we have an inner conflict around being a good girl and being in our power, that really creates a lot of struggle. So what I do with women who are in business, who are entrepreneurs, who are visionaries, is I support them no matter where they're at on the scale in terms of money, to really be able to be in their systems, to create in their nervous system and in their mind a congruent, aligned way of being where they feel safe, where they feel connected, where they feel like they belong to themselves first and foremost. So that way we can really create a state of wealth from within, because as within, so without, right? And so if you know anything about manifesting, right, we have to be in harmony and congruent with our own vibration. That's what we send out. We match the frequency, and then that's what we attract. Most women in particular, because of lots of different traumas, we tend to really struggle with this idea of being successful and our self-image around success and what that means and who do we have to let go of, and we get feeling guilty, and right, are we doing the right thing, because it's not as natural for us to show up in that powerful way.
Danielle, that's amazing. Do you have maybe one person who you were like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is the result that they got, or maybe someone who was down and out, and they completely turned their life around utilizing this and making these changes?
Yeah. So we have so many success stories. One that comes to mind immediately is my friend Heather. She's amazing. We really got very connected during our work together. She came in making about 1,000, 2,000 at most in her business a month. And within 30 days, she booked $12,000 worth of new business. By month 6, she had booked $50,000 that month in new business, right? And it really was about steadying her from going into, as soon as we go into that fight, flight, and a lot of women go into fawn, right? Fawn is the disease to please and appease. And we go into this fawn state because we want to keep everybody comfortable. We want to make everyone okay. And her nervous system wouldn't allow her to expand, right? So when our nervous system's in a contracted state, we can't receive. We have a receiving wound. And women are taught to overfunction and overgive, to be liked, to be accepted, to be approved of. And so Heather sort of had this experience where, right, she had to stay steady in trusting that she was safe in herself, right, to be in the mindset of, right, because mindset is great, but mindset without it coming into the nervous system, which is the command center of our bodies, right? We won't be able to hold it and we won't be able to receive it. And so for her to be able to do that was so potent and powerful. And now she's just blowing up. I mean, her entire business is exploding. So yeah, we're really proud of things like that, you know, to really be able to create more independence and fulfillment and prosperity, where women get to do what they feel like they're meant to do on the planet, and make money doing it is exactly why we do what we do.
Sounds incredible. Really, sounds like you're impacting a lot of people who will then go on to impact a lot of people. So, and
Exactly.
that's how it all starts, right? But Danielle, if people want to get in touch with you, they want to learn more about what you're doing, how can they do so?
Yeah. So best thing is go to DanielleMarggraf.com, two G's, one F. And there we have free downloads that you could start working with this on your own, right? We have tons of resources there. There's articles. I write for a magazine, then we have articles. We have a coaching page where you get tidbits, lots of great stuff right on the website. Of course, social media, Instagram, Facebook. We'd love to have you follow us and connect with us. And and we love to hear your story.
Well, thank you, Danielle. Thank you for what you're doing to impact. And thank you for being with us here today on Founder Story.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Dan.